Okay, good morning everyone. We're going to do some yoga Pilates. Most of this as well is Pilates exercises, but we're going to do our best to be able to work the whole body. There'll be a lot of ab work in this, so do be aware that you need maybe a ball or pillow to protect the back. So the first thing I want you to do is to lay down, place the head on the pillow and bend the knees. No, you can't. Now bend one leg up and place it back down. So one leg at a time warms you up. You can't, Lucy. So come up and down, working through the hips. So as you lift one leg at a time, make sure the hips and back are down, allowing the back to stay through. Relax the head. As you lift, flex the heels and the toes towards the knees. So you're coming up and flexing one at a time. Now, as you bend, push one leg away and back, and we're going to do 15 of those. Allow the knee to stay in line with the shoulder. As you look down, make sure the head is straight as well. Otherwise, you'll get a poorly neck. So, looking at the ceiling, chin up. Hands should be down beside your hips, and you're bending in and away. And remember, you're going to do 15 on each leg. This will work your hip flexors and the top of the quads. Nice, easy warm up. Really good for the top of the legs. You will feel a pull here. So if you're weak on your psoas or your iliopsis, just remember to not go straight with the heel or knee. Change legs when ready. So into the chest first, away and back. Again, 15 on each. Lovely. Each time you pull the knee in towards the chest, just remember you're trying to bring it further in. So you'll feel kind of a clicking through the knee if you have any problems with the knee, but you may also feel clicking in the hip if you're hypermobility. So in and away, 15. Last 5. Now we're going to do alternate legs. So place the hands either side of the bottom. Bring the legs back to a tabletop and one leg at a time push away. Each time you stretch and push away, remember to hold for 1 second, but don't lose the bent knee. So that should be staying in the air with the heel there extended. And then out breath, in breath. Feel the glute muscles also working. A nice alternative to this, if you find this difficult, is to keep one leg in crook position and do the same like we did earlier. Keep going, 15 more. Remember to push through, release, relax, stretch, breathe. Should feel the lower leg nice and firm, top of the hip flexors now starting to burn across the quadriceps. Now we're going to do the same exercise but straightening the leg to the ceiling. So go back to tabletop, straight and bend. Now I'm flexing the heel, but you can do this with a pointed toe. So up, release. Ten more to make 30. Well done, everyone. Straighten the knee, get the leg nice and lengthened. Now drop one leg to a crook position, keeping the other leg to the ceiling and straighten the leg. And then drop to the side and back again. So 15 straight legs out to the side and back. Remember to change legs once you've done them. This way, it's fine. You can't. And then other leg, also 15. Now remember, you don't have enough room, just move away a little bit so you've got a little bit more room so you can get the leg further down. And then legs down. Now we're going to roll up. Bringing your hands out beside you or in front of you. Come up to the knees or the outside of the leg. And we're going to repeat this for 15. Out breath coming up. In breath, pulling on the middle of the abs. The progression of this one is to take the arms above the head, straighten and lengthen, then come up. So therefore you work through the rotary cuff muscles in the arms and work to target your middle core. And again, the alternative to this, if it's too much to do double arms, is to do one arm at a time. Or maybe you just want to come up and stay here to pulse, which is what we're going to do next anyway. So when ready, pulse here for 15. Well done. Relax the tummy muscles and draw the knees in. Then gently rock side to side to release the core muscles, which should be nice and warm now. Now find your band and place your band around your foot. Once the band is around the insert of the foot, pull down gently with the outside of the band. Then lower the leg up and down for 30 drops, then we'll progress you. Remember, elbows should stay on the floor, hands around the halfway across your band so that you've got more resistance as you go up and down. So up and down when ready with straight legs. Now with the bent knee, make sure it's not rocking side to side. Your hips should be on the floor all the time that you're doing that. We're halfway. Five more. Now swap the legs over and do the same on the other leg. And repeat again. Straighten the knee, make sure the head is comfortable and drop again for 30. For those at home watching, you may want to progress it by bringing the head up as the leg drops. But if the neck hurts too much, just remember, just do the leg. We're halfway. Cheer up, it's good for you. Allow that smile to make the body feel better. Last 5. Now both feet inside of the band. Some of you may need a ball under the back. It's fine. Straighten the knees, nice and lengthened. That's it, lovely. And then when you're there, you're going to lower with a gap between the legs. Hold it there. Now stay in this position and roll the tummy in as you bring the chin to the chest. Hold this position for a count of 10. And it's at this point you realise whether your abs are strong or not. And they're shaking. Now drop the head and bring the legs up. We're going to do that again when you've recovered. Okay, are you ready? Deep breath in, legs down, feel the middle core. Look to the knees and hold that position. Try not to let the legs drop. Feel the shaking of the core and then walk up your bands to bring yourselves up, still controlling the legs in the air. Take your time to come up fully and hold in boat position. Can you go a little higher with the feet? And hold there for as long as you can. If you can't come up fully, bend the feet down and come up slowly when ready, using your core muscles. Now walk the hands further to the feet and stay there for 6 breaths. Still holding, but straighten the back. You should be fully seated by now. Now open the legs nice and wide. Still in that position and pause to sit upright using the same core muscles. Come on, that's it, keep going, keep holding. Now drop the legs and come up to seated. Lovely. Take the arms to the ceiling now and stretch through one arm at a time to lengthen the vertebrae. Now, some of you may have a ball, place it behind you, or a pillow. I'm not going to use one today so that I can progress a little further. But once you are there, we're going to roll towards the pillow. So we're going to roll back through a curved spine and come back up again. And we're going to do 30 of these. These are called rollbacks. Try and keep your feet on the ground. If not, bend the knees so that you can roll a lot easier. Keep rolling back, feeling the work through the shoulders, and continue to push. Maybe you need a little bit more space. So be aware of your surroundings as you roll back and forwards. Can we go lower now? Hold, breathe out, come in. So here, working a lot on those tummies and legs this morning, allowing the body to feel stronger each time you roll back, hold and release. Don't forget, out breath as you go back where the effort is. Now I'm going to try and get lower. Some of you can do the same to target your core muscles. Notice here my heels are staying on the floor. That roll back there may hurt the coccyx, so if it gets too much, place a pillow under the bottom. Keep going. Now see if you can go back. Hold for a second, then release. Now if you find this boring, it means you're not working hard enough. So go beyond where you feel comfortable and then come back again. Now I know a lot of Pilates instructors, and you can do this if you want to, will take you from here all the way down and then up again. But it depends on the core muscles, so don't worry if you can't go back. 10 more. Last 2. Now bring one knee into a crook position and straighten the other leg. Then straighten the back and hold with a straight leg. Then as you straighten the back, hold the stretch underneath in the hamstrings. I'm going to take the opposite hand to hold opposite foot now, bringing the other hand down. I'm going to stretch to hold that position for 3 breaths. It does depend on the length of the legs and the flexibility in the shoulder and the hip. Change legs and repeat on the other side. Now bring the legs back to tabletop while seated and hands under the knees. Here, working on your lower abdominal muscles. When ready, drop one leg at a time from tabletop to the floor. Fill in the work again for your tummy muscles and lower back, as explained at the beginning of the class. This is really, although it be yoga lattes, a very good Pilates ab blast, because you will really work your core muscles today as well as in your legs. And some work on the shoulders and back as well. Keep dropping, but try and keep the core muscles and the back straight so the legs do all the work. Ten more. Now straighten the legs again, still holding the balance, but hold the calf muscles, and then you'll feel the legs and abs shaking. Once you're there, control for 3 breaths. The alternative is to hold one leg again like we did earlier. Now open the legs nice and wide. Using the back to stay seated. Open the legs as wide as you can and hold for 4 to 5 breaths. Try not to roll back. Well done, everyone. Now place the feet together, still seated, and place the hands underneath the ankles to bring the legs up. And hold for 2 to 3 breaths. From here, make sure you've got nothing behind you, so remove block and your pillow as we go into rollbacks or seal. So from here, tucking in the chin, rolling back, coming up and double touch toe with your toes. Make sure the chin stays in. Use your abs to roll back, feet staying still, and then add, if you want to and you have enough room, a little bit more of a swing to come up. Remember, the feet shouldn't go down once you're up. And then we can add the sound effects. Oh, oh! Oh, oh! Like a seal. You don't have to do that. 5 more. Keep going. Last 2. Last 1. Now stay up but drop the legs and bring the hands around the knees and straighten the back to release the spine. And then turn the chin left to right so that you can feel the neck stretch with the straight back. We're now going to work on the legs, laying onto your side. Once you are down, straighten both legs to the side. Now this is going to work the upper part of the leg. Placing the top hand in front of you to stabilise you, make sure the hips are stacked and that you're off of the hip in front. Then point the toe to go up and flex the heel to come down for 30 counts. Now, if done correctly, you shouldn't be pushing the bottom further back and forwards in order to lift the leg. You will only be able to go up so far before you feel the restriction here and in the lower back. If you're tilting backwards with the hip, it means you use other muscles to target. Here I want you to work your abductor and adductor muscles and the iliotibial band. The IT band there from the hip to the knee is gently strengthening as you lift up and down. Should feel a nice warming on the outside and inside of the legs now. Four more. Now bend both knees behind you. Coming up onto the arm, bend the front knee and go forward and back to work into the bottom. Try not to move the bottom and hips, just the top of the leg, working here in the hip and the lower back. Squeezing the glute muscles together as you squeeze the heel backwards or swing the leg. Now if it hurts the shoulder or elbow while seated up like this, place the head on the block or pillow and lay down, bringing the arm in front of you underneath. We're halfway. You should start to feel an ache in the top of the leg. Last 5, and then we're going to turn over to the other side, repeating the last 2 exercises. When ready, knees in and roll to the other side. Well done so far. So straight legs again, elbow down, stack your hips, make sure the legs are nice and straight, and then arm in front of you. We're going to go up with the pointed toe, flexed heel down. And remember, if you've just joined us, you'll need to do 30 of these lifts and then you'll need to repeat the other leg. Now don't give up on this. I know it's hard for you. You should feel it in the glutes every time you open and close the legs. But it's really good to tone the legs and bottom. Plus, if you were to do the exercise, if you can, each morning, it will also help you knowing the exercise is done already. I know this is not always easy if we have to work. And they will be uploaded to YouTube after or on here if you do need to revisit at any time. We're halfway. Should feel an ouch now, especially if you haven't done something for a while or maybe for a week. Last two. Bent knee swings now, so bending both legs, bringing the feet behind you, hand in front, and then forward and back, also for 30, working your hips and tummy, pulling on your bottom glutes and back. Now, this is really good if you suffer with things like piriformis syndrome or sciatica. Just watch the foot as it pushes back. If you go too far back, you'll hit that sciatic notch. But the further forward the knee goes, the better the stretch for the glutes. Fantastic for hips. We're halfway. Don't give up. Well done, everyone. Now come up onto your bottom and sit back up. Now you have an option here. For those that have a Pilates ring, we're going to use those. If not, use the band, and I'll show you where we need to go with that. So once you're seated upright, place in either the band around the thighs like so, and knot it, or use the ring between the thighs. And we're going to come up, hold in that position, but squeeze the legs together. Those that have a band, you'll be pulling them further out. If it's too hard to do this here, then bring the elbows down and pull against the band or squeeze to the ring. Remember, your bands might be in the bag that you had when you were at the gym, so maybe look in there if you haven't got one. And maybe next time we come out of lockdown, you'll be able to grab the extra things you'll need from the gym and borrow them if you bring them back, or buy your own. Amazon do them. For those that were doing it here, far harder, but really good for the tummy muscles as well. Okay, for those with the rings, place them down and everyone find their band. Place the band under the foot and keep seated upright. From here, we're just going to stretch the leg. You can use the ring if you'd rather. It's exactly the same exercise here, yeah? And then bring the foot towards the head by lengthening underneath the hamstrings and pulse into the head. Other leg as well for 30. Keep pulsing, bringing the foot towards the head, and try and straighten the back. Now release the bands and bring yourselves upright and open the legs nice and wide on your mats. Once here, bring the arms in front of you and just push forward slightly to stretch the inside adductor muscles between the legs. Now it's just a little movement, you don't have to go so fast, but here you will feel a stretch there and between the glute muscles and hamstrings as you gently stretch and pulse. Then we're going to go into saw. Turning out the feet, bring the hands together into prayer hold. Relax the shoulders down. Draw a deep breath in, pull back the elbow and chop off the outside of the ankle and then come up again. Repeating this for 15 on each leg. Out breath as you go down, in breath to come up. Notice here my bent elbow still pulling back and stretching the pectoral muscles and deltoids before I go down to reach the opposite ankle. Four more. Last two. Now bring the knees together to finish and straight backs. And feel the lengthening of the spine. And last stretch, feet in front and roll down. Try and reach for the feet and tuck in the chin. Breathe in and out for 2 breaths. Thanks for joining me this morning. We'll see you again tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.